So, hi, I'm Yosun Chang, aka, I guess, an AR hacker entrepreneur. Really quick summary, I win a lot of hackathons. Here is a really quick listing of them. Who cares? Okay. And then let's go back and, oh my gosh, I haven't tested this yet. I also started, I guess, these companies. And I like to say that I kind of have a bunch of Girl Scout badges, or little badges. So there's HoloYummy, which is a augmented reality food hologram, the world's most delicious food holograms. And also there's Play-Doh AR, which is math made magical. There's Art from AR. It's, I would like to think, kind of the coolest app for museums and most useful app, AR app for museums. And also Base.io, a bunch of AR creator tools, snapshot.org, Snapglass.es, normally Alexa Pet, which, by the way, is the puppy right here. She kind of has her own little augmented reality pet, which I'll showcase later. And Proto-AR, Petty AR, wallseeker.org. Yeah, so I now have a lot of badges, I guess. It kind of spans the entire spectrum of interesting things that I'm interested in. And I guess I'm considered an expert in a range of technologies. But essentially, I am a company of one person, so I guess that makes me, I guess, an indie dev. Although a lot of the startups that I just mentioned are basically things that I created, I guess, one-person companies. So this is my info head. I guess let's jump to some other demos and stuff. So in terms of AR creator tools, right? So, okay. I guess I'll focus on AR creator tools for the people. So in this case, this is a iPhone X demo showing the face mesh and how you can apply interesting sort of text to your face. This is just a very basic sort of creator tool sort of setup. And I'm just typing sort of random sort of phrases. And so mix and matching sort of AR plus adding in classic interesting interfaces. Does anyone have a message they want to write on my head? I heard hello, but I'm just going to write down bad speaker. Okay, so yeah, this is one of a number of many different apps I've made. It's called Head Text. So I have done a number of apps with the iPhone X, primarily because it's very interesting what you can do with oh, they found a cable. This is great. Cool, thanks. So another one is actually, it's very subtle. You don't really notice it's actually the full face mesh. But if you look at the avatar that's talking in the corner, the tracking for the lips, at least, is very pretty good, I guess. This is completely using my actual lip motion. But in this case, because it's kind of a South Park-style cartoon avatar, I'm just basically modulating very simple shapes. So this is called UAnchor. You can also download it from the App Store. It's another crazy hackathon app. But in this case, it's actually showcasing, in addition to the iPhone X, the World 3D SDK. Does anyone have a city that they'll like to see me live stream my cartoon avatar from? Vienna. Okay, so World 3D is not in Vienna yet. They are in other countries. So pick another country than Austria. Germany? What? City? Berlin? Okay. I think they're in Berlin. I hope they are. We'll find out. They may not be in Berlin yet. They have spotty coverage in most of Europe. They're mostly in the US, I think. So a city in the US, I guess? Boston. Okay, let's do Boston. Here we go. So there is Boston. Is there a particular area that you think is newsworthy for this, avatar anchor to zoom into? which part of the Charles River? Is that west or east? Should I be navigating up, left, or right? Well, okay. I guess let's just choose like a random building here, and let's make up some news. So in UAnchor, you can turn your world into your own sort of live anchor news sort of thing. Like you can turn it into a zombie apocalypse and live stream it while blowing zombies up, or some sort of vampire sort of thing going on, and then explode vampires. But if you're a little bit less crazy, you can also just turn it into like some giant LED screen in Times Square, or kind of like a sketch comic book sort of thing, or like some sort of face daub paint sort of thing, like a Van Gogh sort of thing. So for fun, I integrated Google Poly, so you can also search for whatever you want to put into the world. So anyone have some object they want to put in the world? Pineapple? Okay, let's do a man-in-the-middle attack on this red building. Okay, great, so let's search for that. And let's hope it doesn't crash with the Wi-Fi. Oh, Wi-Fi is working, great. So let's select the pineapple and place it on a building. Okay. So there's a pineapple there on that building. Let's make it bigger. It's getting kind of laggy right now. All right. So yeah, we have pineapples on a building, and sure, why not? Let's kind of like talk about, we're streaming live from Boston, and there are giant pineapples in a Van Gogh sort of looking version of our city, and it's kind of turned into a, some sort of a zombie apocalypse with pineapples. Yeah, so this is citizen journalism with some sort of cool iPhone X sort of thing. So this is just something kind of fun that also kind of integrates multiple SDKs with face tracking. But you can also change your hair color to like other funky things. So get my app, UAnchor. For fun, I'm going to show you guys an app that I submitted to the App Store on the very first day that the iPhone X came out. Unfortunately, they rejected it, and they won't tell me why. So it's a very simple app. Long press fades the BG, and swipe changes the BG. So your only direction is to please make faces. Hi, I am Pixel Grumpy Cat, and I can become like a virtual floating head, or like fade in and out. I don't know, and you can change the background and stuff. I don't know, I thought it was kind of like a really cool sort of just first sort of release, sort of in the App Store, but it's been permanently rejected, probably because of Pixel Grumpy Cat. So you guys got to see something kind of secret that will probably never see the light of day due to Apple App Store rejecting this. Okay, so getting into the creator tool sort of stuff. So let's, I guess, go straight to Face Mask Designer. Okay, so I created a series of creator tools. So one of them is Face Mask Designer. It lets you design your face mask by using the UV points that are directly tracked using dlib. So in this case, there is a, I chose an image that I already have, and then, or you can just use any image. And then the cool part is you see that I am selected the pink UV points, and now I'm dragging them around, so I can actually change their positioning. So as I'm moving them around, you see how the texture is changing. So this way, it's directly on your mobile phone, you actually can have the ability to change the UV on your face mesh. And so this is part of a number of face creator tools that I created for another crazy one-person company, Face.io. And so these are selecting eyes and moving them around. You can kind of see the effects of just changing the UV points around and see how that works. And for fun, of course, you can change filters. So instead of multiply mode, you can change it to the usual Photoshop sort of effects to see how the thing blends in. Cool. So let's go straight to Okay, so let's try doing a switch to the other device. How does this work? So next I'll show faceshop.io, which, oh my gosh, okay. Okay, come on. So I guess I'm trying to find the second HDMI cable. Hi, sorry. Is there a second HDMI?
Second cable is here.
Okay. Okay. Hi. So now I'm actually live on device. This is just a regular iPad. This is a face filter creation software that runs pretty much on any platform. Kind of the fun part is that you can swap in whatever face tracker you want, like OpenCV or whatever branded other SDKs that do face tracking. And it's a little funky, I guess, but the face thing actually has attachment points, and I found that it was much more intuitive to do it that way. So you can choose different face mask things, and so right now I'm just using the default OpenCV face tracking, and so change the different blend modes to. I don't know, is blend mode actually broken in this version? Okay, so let's do. Okay, here we go. So that lighten mode works, and let's do multiply. It's really dark. Let's just do this one. So I guess for face mask, the layering is a little bit less interesting than, say, for example, you select your nose, and then so you have user uploaded content on the left, and you put, say, a fidget spinner on your nose. Like in Photoshop, it's very intuitive that you can drag the layers around. So as I drag that around, you saw that the fidget spinner and the clown nose switched orders. I'll do that again so you can see. So they're designed to be for the people in the sense that it's, in a way, reminiscent of the tools that everyone knows how to use, but it's made to be very intuitive and simple. And once you just understand what things do, like if you choose different parts, it attaches to different parts, like laser pointer, and I guess let's do some funky goggles. And you can also do it on different sort of form factors, so you can preview different kinds of things. And there's also a very simple action creator, reminiscent of Flash, which most of you guys probably don't remember. But for simple interactions, it's quite useful. And kind of what's very useful is that you have access to pretty much any post-processing you can find in Unity. So in this case, I'm mix and matching a bunch of interesting post-processing effects, and I'm randomly deleting some to leave it to just a funky sort of matrix thing, maybe adding a blue sort of border. Right. Anyways, just kind of demonstrating face shop and primarily the layers-based interface, which I find very sort of, well, it's reminiscent of some of my favorite software. Okay, so let's try switching back to the other one. Can I switch it myself? So machine 1. Hi. So we're just kind of seeing how fast the switch can work, I guess, the live testing. Okay, great. So we're back to this machine again. Okay, cool. So I also want to kind of preview something I'm launching tomorrow, actually. It's this Mozilla Reality relaunch Mesh GIF telephone. And so the idea is that you can participate in a global game of telephone without sound. So you're recording your face mesh saying something. So in this case, we're keeping it to simple words just to make it simpler to kind of collect data. So in this case, I'm reading kiwi, kiwi, And so my mesh GIF is now saying that, and I can transmit it, and then it'll get added to this database. So for fun, I also created, I guess, a very small form of file print face animation sort of thing for particularly these iPhone sort of face GIFs. And it's not quite a GIF, it's actually a full sort of mesh of the face. And it's a lot smaller than actually just, each of the text and stuff. So let's see, let's actually jump straight to beyond this kind of stuff, the face stuff, because there's always other interesting AR creator tools, character-driven AR creation tools. Okay, so this is where I created a number of different pet apps. One of them is called AR Doggy. Let's see. How do I get my mouse here? Okay, great. So this is just using classic ARKit, but you can also use ARCore or whatever. But the cool part about this is not just the AR. I think the AR helps enhance it. But we have like photogrammetry dogs here, and we have a real dog as well. Hello, Cami. So it allows people to basically create their own sort of character-based and AR-powered videos. And there's also the usual sort of interesting filter effects, so you can make it kind of interesting. Let's choose this dog. And wiener dog. Of course, the downside with this kind of tracking is that you don't really have any sort of real occlusion, and so things kind of walk like right through. But as with any sort of camera shot, if you place it in a clever way, it will look kind of realistic, I guess. Like, okay, Cammy, hello. Okay, wow. It's definitely grounds for making a lot of interesting, funny GIF sort of things, right? So let's place this bulldog around here and make him lie down. Cool, what a well-behaved dog. So in this case, as kind of a director, you have more access to just different sort of commands, and the dog will always listen to you, which does make your character animal-driven dog actor a lot easier to deal with than the real one, because sometimes the real one does not always listen to you. Okay, so this is AR Doggy, and there's also, for fun, let's switch to the other device. So swap in and out. HDMI in, is that the one? Okay, great, cool. Uh-oh. Why is it crashing? It could be it's overheating. Okay, I guess I'll let this one cool down or something and switch back to here. So, so I also created for fun AR Kitty. You can also get this directly on the App Store. So AR Kitty is similar in nature to the other apps that you saw, but it's a lot more, I guess it has a little bit more character because ARKitty is actually ARKit is a registered trademark, so if you release an app called ARKitty, they wouldn't actually let you call it ARKitty, so I had to actually call ARKitty laser tag. So as a result, this is a kitty that you can play laser tag with, and you can also make it do different things, such as add in other sort of things that it worships, like a cat that pops out of the box, and for fun, you can also, I guess this is a little bit on the geeky side, there's something called a Michelson-Morley interferometer, and it's actually what is used to prove that the ether does not actually exist. So in this case, we're going to actually let the kitty worship the kind of the geeky interferometer. So you learn a little bit about laser science in your laser tag sort of thing. And you can also, of course, make the kitty wear different things. This is out of season, I guess. Steampunk glasses. And of course, there's also the usual suite of filter effects. Cool. So let's go for real-time AR. And okay, so I guess I was talking about how the pets are not always responsive. So another pet I created is called Alexa Pet. It's actually something that interacts with your Amazon Alexa. And I have a lot of different variations of it. So kind of the latest one, the character has been slightly redesigned, but the original one is actually very reminiscent of the puppy that you see here. Quirky puppy. So in this case, on the right corner, there's a press to speak where you can say things like sit, sit, and the pet listens. But the real pet doesn't always listen. She usually does when she's better, but she's excited by all of you right now. Sit. Well, okay, so in this case, run circles. Okay, sometimes the virtual pet is being funky as well, but it's also kind of interesting to mix and match like voice with AR. And on iOS, of course, there's actually the free voice framework that you can just directly use. And you're wondering where is the AR, right? Okay, so the AR portion is on this business card, yay! But it also is on the Amazon Echo, but it's kind of not convenient to bring that. And also, actually, Iberia lost my suitcase, so I actually don't have the Echo with me because it's somewhere in Iberia's sort of suitcase transfer. So imagine pointing this at your Echo, and then your pet, it kind of gets your pet augments onto your Echo for fun. So I've also created something called Diorama Infinity, which, let's hope we can switch to this other device to check out. I think that is a lot cooler because it actually uses the Echo Show. All right, so let's go for the other device now. Switch one, HTML one, okay, great. So is it working? Here we go. So Diorama Infinity lets you basically place interesting Safari animals and also Google Poly animals in a Echo Show. I really like kind of splitting things up into kind of a virtualized view and AR view. So when you don't actually have the marker or an actual trackable surface, you could just have like a virtual sort of simulated device. So in this case, I'm just selecting like different animals and placing them wherever. And let's move the zebra here. Of course, you're like, where is the AR? This is kind of like very like that. So I guess now I'm going to load the grid. So imagine this screen being on your Amazon Echo Show, but I guess I have a virtual Echo Show on the tester.diorama.space. So this is kind of another interesting sort of hack in the sense that you can have virtualized devices whose screens that you can directly see. And then, you can actually kind of have devices kind of anywhere if you're just kind of augmenting for testing. And so kind of the effect is that it looks like you're looking into a different world inside of a box, which is, I guess, interesting. So you can also choose different scenery. For fun, you can also save this and stuff. So when you save it, it actually becomes a part of, so basically it's another marker that anyone can load if we're connected to the internet, I guess. The interesting part about, I guess, the AR marker is that if you just have a lot of trees in the background, if you rearrange the branches and stuff in a certain way, you can actually just, randomly generate a lot of very good trackable AR marker things. So it's kind of like using a 3D scenery to generate augmented reality markers. So this is Diorama Infinity. It's also on the App Store. So feel free to grab my crazy one-person apps. Okay, so I think I want to jump to Magic Kit right now. So Magic Kit is something that I created for a hackathon. It actually only won semi-finalists, so I don't know. But I think it's actually kind of an interesting prototype app. So this is a little bit less about character-driven, but more about special effects. So what if you can apply Hollywood special effects in real time, like instead of in After Effects, directly to pretty much anyone or anything, I guess. So I'm not sure if I want to use my corgi puppy right now, but maybe. So I could ground plane this and then add a person. So I guess for fun, I'll use this thing right here. Actually, move this thing to right here. Okay. This is like a total hack. So I think, and it's from a few weeks ago, so I don't fully remember what I did. I'm trying to actually Occlusion Cylinder this one, plus. Okay, great. So place Occlusion Cylinder there, and then let's make it a little bit larger and shorter. So it lets you do interesting things like, so the special effect now kind of, you see that it's actually inside there, instead of like, the whole occlusion problem can kind of be hacked by, I guess, using a trick with, placing geometries. So it kind of looks like there's a magic effect happening here. And sure, adding fireballs in the next version. I guess this effect is the one that looks the best. Let's see if we can actually emulate this with the corgi puppy here. Okay, gotta make it much shorter for you. Stay. Well, okay, let's see. Okay, it's officially a magical puppy. Okay. So this one is, I guess, kind of still a beta app. So on test flight, I guess. I guess I'll switch back to the other screen here. And, okay. All right, so back to creator tools. And I guess let's go straight to, in the interest of time, open-ended content creation tools. So something else that's kind of interesting is called Wall Secret. And you can get this directly on the App Store as well. Just search for Wall Secret on both iOS and Android app stores. This lets you place secrets pretty much anywhere, any surface. So for fun, I will try to place it here. I'm not sure what will happen. I guess this is probably too complicated here. So why not? Does anyone have a secret they want to share on my open-ended content creation tool slide? We are hungry. All right, so this is our secret. I mean, it's a good secret. You can interpret it in a lot of different ways, right? Like hungry for better developer tools in AR, or just like in terms of nourishment, right? It is that time of day. Dinner would be quite nice right now, or dinner. Okay, so kind of a fun sort of thing with this is you can kind of apply Instagram-style effects to the text. So in this case, there's not just the filter, there's also kind of the actual font. So the font stuff is where it's kind of interesting. So you saw earlier there was like different Photoshop modes. In this case, there's the multiply mode being applied to the font. So and then also like overlay modes. So okay, I think that in this case, this one is probably the best sort of the mood for We Are Hungry, right? So it's kind of like fake blood. And also, I guess, fake HDR so in the background. And so when you have placed your secret, you can take a picture of your secret. So, okay, let's do this. Okay, thanks, Amazon. Okay, come on. Okay, so anyways, you can choose to directly upload it, or you can just make it stick. So I guess what might make it stick uploads it as well. So let's make it stick. So whenever someone scans that slide, they will load this secret, "We are hungry." And so grab my app Wall Secret. It's like Wall Street, but actually Wall Secret. 2 words. And scan my slide to read our group message, "We are hungry." Yeah, so this is Wall Secret. And okay, yes, finally, I should probably go back to what I actually wrote in the description, which is quite a few years ago, I made something called Cubicula, which is like Minecraft meets Foursquare. So it lets you basically check into a real location to build stuff. That's something I guess that's very sort of, I don't know, it's very basic to build with cube stuff, as a lot of you have rebuilt in different kinds of frameworks. So for fun, let's do Buckyballs. Well, and this is kind of like pseudo Buckyballs, just to keep it simple. So this is another sort of creator interface where instead of having direct raycast hit to the actual plane, you have kind of a pseudo magnetic sort of fake sort of visualizer. So in this case, as you can see, as I'm walking around here, you can see there are only these certain points that are like stable points. So let's choose the one right here, and here, and here. So they're kind of interesting sort of variations for creator tools, just in where you let the user place their blocks. So similar to classic sort of square block building, usually it's using direct, you're rounding it to the nearest, either basing it on a normals or actually just directly using a different grid-based system that is rounded. And I guess equivalently, like voxels could be pretty much any shapes. You can have them be geometries, cubes or spheres, and also keep building based on different ones. And I'm not sure what I'm building right now, but it looks interesting, and it commemorates the audience, I guess. This is a sculpture I'm building for you guys. Audience participatory art. Let's see. I could keep building it longer, down to 3 minutes. Okay. All right. So does anyone have a favorite shape, like sphere or cube or polygons? Pyramid. There's only 3 options. It's only icosahedron or a cube or a sphere. Okay, raise your hands if you want to see spheres. Okay, raise your hands if you want to see cubes. Very few cube people. What about the polyhedra, the icosahedra? Yeah. Okay, there's it's either sphere or icosahedrons. Okay, well, all right. So for fun, you can always add in physics mode. So on the left-hand corner, I have a little programmer icon, I guess, art, Apple drops. So we're going to add physics. Wait, actually, first let's do something interesting where we have a minus mode. So let's make it impossible. So we remove this one. So it's kind of like floating in the air. That might make it more interesting. Okay. And let's remove this one right here and simulate something. All right, let's add physics. Okay, cool. Well, of course, when you add gravity, things kind of just fall apart. So we can also stop gravity or stop the physics, and then everything kind of stays as they are. And you created a different kind of art. It's a little bit more stochastical now, I guess, but it is also not as tall. Yeah, so this is actually just something kind of a sort of fun extension of your classic sort of cube building into different kind of objects and stuff. So I also have a whole ton of e-commerce AR sort of things, which I find are a lot less exciting now that you see a lot of it going on. So focus is mainly on creator tools, and I guess, are there any preferences for what kind of tools that you guys would like to see in my last, because I literally have like 50 other things I want to demo right now, and I'm trying to decide which one to demo. Any preference on which areas, I guess, in my last demo? Like food or, I don't know. I guess we could do food for fun. So I guess since you guys are hungry, I'll show you guys Holo Yummy. So Holo Yummy is the world's most delicious food holograms. And so in this case, you can augment them onto any surface. Uh-oh, no signal. So, okay, great. So that's augmented like right here, I guess. Sure, why not? So this is well, that's not as exciting. So when you lose tracking, it shows a different item. So this is a better surface to augment onto, I guess. How about this one? So crazy tree and so I guess this is another Michelin star food. It's from Atelier Crenne, a 2 Michelin star restaurant. And so one of my favorites is actually this dry-aged tuna. It's actually not sized because I'm really just using this random piece of paper, like whatever I see, as like an instantaneous marker. And, oh, I guess I'm at time. So, yes. Can I keep talking or? I've been looking at the clock to be good, yeah.
If we had the time, I think we would love to see all your demos.
Okay,
but,
yes.
Yeah, we'll have to wrap it up here.
Okay.
But thank you very much.
Cool, thanks.